What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, we're in dark mode right now. This is your DJ. We are back. Still having adventures. Let me shut this door so we don't get any ambient noise. We're back. Since we last left, the Trump administration is playing out exactly as we thought it would be. America is going down the drain. Meanwhile, his supporters keep backing him up no matter what. Your fave DJ, I'm still speaking truth to power, still spreading love, still staying righteous, still staying woke. We have gotten into TikTok like we did in the previous videos. We can critique and observe and dismantle these Trumpers, deplorables, Republicans, whatever you want to call them, in real time. I should get some index cards because I was going to start making index cards to pop up when they use their talking points. Because honestly, dismantling them every time is getting very old, very tired. Every time you deal with these people, you're starting from scratch, literally. And of course, I don't know where my index cards are. Anyway. Yeah, I could be more organized, but so I guess we'll check out some chats and then we'll start our own and just see where it goes because you know how they hate me. They fear me. I come in, I speak truth to power. I'm not speaking opinions. I dismantle them very quickly. One key in this world of misinformation, if something is very complicated and someone can't explain it to you simply, they're not an expert and it's probably a scam. Also, people who lead with questions and not their point, if they start at, well, answer this question, there's no point. You make your point and then you back it up with evidence, okay? That's how you do that. That's not that hard because otherwise it's just gotcha questions and wasting time, but that's what these Republicans want to do. They don't want to have a conversation. They can't debate. They have to mute. They have to silence you, just like Trump. Why do you think he doesn't want journalists asking him questions? Why do you think he can't handle any pushback from anyone? The only place these people are victorious and rocking and rolling is when they're in their own little Trump spaces, whether that's a Trump rally or online in a Trump space. Because you see these town halls, they're getting ate up during these town halls, right? In the streets, this stuff isn't flying. And that's why, and TikTok, they're so strong because they have the mute button. They kick people. Whoever says anything, whoever doesn't literally say exactly what they want. They'll ask you a question, say, answer the question. Well, answer the question. Well, I am. And if you don't answer exactly how they want to, they freak out because they're not thinking for themselves. They've been programmed by Fox News, by OAN, by all these sources, by their church, right? By their own political leaders, by Donald Trump himself. They absorb this propaganda all the time. So they're programmed. That's why they all say the same thing. You can ask, like, things that have been debunked. We knew that kids were not identifying as cats, right? Those litter boxes were to stop mass shootings at schools. And you have to excuse me if I slip into TikTok-friendly language because you have, for what? I don't know. You have to do that, whatever. I get banned. If I get banned from TikTok, so what? If I get banned from YouTube, so what? It's not about your member on a social media. It's about the movement. Yeah, I'm willing to lose my TikTok membership, never go on TikTok again if it means I'm speaking truth to power and standing up for what's right. Like, and that's the difference. I'll talk to you for hours about the issues. I'll answer every single follow-up question you have. I will go on and go on and it'll go on. You know why? Because I know what I believe in. I know what I believe in is right. It's true. It's not a scam. It helps everyone. And it is a life and death issue, right? Okay. I hope my mic's picking up well enough. I think the other ones have been good. Okay, so now let's go into the TikTok sphere and see what's up. We'll stop in a couple rooms, but it's so counterproductive.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was very good under the Democrats. Yeah, for sure, it was. But then what ended up happening was that there was a shift. And this shift is that now you have a huge part of the Democratic Party. They've become a little bit more progressive and they've leaned a lot more left. Whereas in the night, because like I said, this is before your time, around the 90s and 2000s, they're way more center. They're way more center, reasonable, moderate.
They literally had a cop. Kamala Harris was a prosecutor. How is that far left?
and now it's like, I think you guys are a little bit too extreme. You focus too much on social issues, which again, I think social issues are important. But when you hyper focus on those, hold on, let me finish my statement. When you hyper focus on these social issues and you negate economic policy issues,
they didn't.
You create a lot of these trade deficits. When you are allowing illegal immigrants to come to this border, go to blue states, receive stipends, get housing, all these other things at American taxpayers' expense.
Right, the same immigrants. How are the Democrats too far left when we literally just had a prosecutor run for president? And then before that, it was Joe Biden. We didn't have the most extreme of our party. We didn't even have Bernie Sanders. You guys chose Trump.
You sure did.
The economy was better under Obama. So would you vote for Obama or Trump if you could? Just
he's gonna say Trump.
I'm gonna give it a buck.
It's not about facts.
I think he's very smart. I think he's very articulate.
Oh my God.
But I don't. That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
You say that you care about, the border and the economy and all that stuff. But it was
But then-
better under Obama than it was Biden.
But then the only issue would be,
and they love
his
this.
position with.
They love their token
taxes,
black
because
conservatives.
Under Obama, it'd be a little bit higher.
And a lot of
So
black
there might
people,
be
unfortunately, are
some-
hopping on this train.
I'm looking at the economic ramifications of higher taxes now, because with lower taxes, what that does with businesses is that it helps
Higher
them to be able to
taxes
reinvest
on middle
to hire
class.
workers and to pay them more. But if you up their taxes, then what happens is that they have to make up for the revenue somewhere. That means they have to increase the price of goods and services.
No, they
and they're going
don't.
to levy that to the taxpayer, to the consumer, and we're going to end up paying more anyways. And then they're going to have to lay off.
Tariffs.
They're going to have to lay off because now they're paying more in taxes.
He's literally describing tariffs.
They can't reinvest, and so at some point,
This is what I'm talking about, and this is what a lot of these, bro. If you don't know, you don't like. It's ego. People want to pretend like they're experts on everything. They want to talk forever about everything. And the thing about the right is they don't have standards. They let you lie out your ass, and they won't call you on it. That's the whole point of Trumpism. I had a guy on yesterday in a Trumper chat room. He said, he discovered the concussion problem in the NFL, which I'm like, they covered it up. Everyone's known about freaking CTE. If you've ever seen an old punch drunk boxer from the 50s or 60s, people knew about that. And then he also debated Barack Obama. And the whole room was just like, fine. But then his talking points were false, no information, dumb as hell. Let's get back to what King's talking about.
Business is not thriving. At some point, you have to create a little bit of economic activity. So that's why you have the economic stimulus. That you have the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP loans, all that other stuff.
They weren't loans; they were giveaways.
Biden, but then also Trump as well.
So Trump added more debt. Signing into law, $8.4 trillion overall.
So this is what happens. You have Aaron.debates. I'm going to say these people's ads. That's the female talking.
So clearly, if you care about waste spending, which is what Donald Trump claims about Doge, you wouldn't have voted for Donald Trump in the first place.
Yeah, well, I would say, I would
and it's some very intelligent Democrat wasting their time using facts and figures and information and logic, where these guys are just pushing an agenda and propaganda.
Under the pandemic, and they had
Is it getting brighter in here?
Money and inject money into the economy in order to bolster economic activity. Really, the difference is not that big.
How much of the personal money he spent at Mar-a-Lago and how much time he spent there, even this presidency.
Yeah, the guy is not working for us.
Mar-a-Lago playing golf.
Yes, and spending money.
Yes.
I'll say this: as long as you're running the country effectively, and this goes for any president. I don't care if you have.
He's not running the country effectively.
She's making a whole point about economics. That was the basis.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I got sidetracked with that. You're correct. But as of deciding debt into the law, 8.4 trillion comparative to 4.3 trillion. You're saying that is not number gap difference?
No. What I'm saying is that
now when I did on TikTok, it showed up.
Is what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Now, again, the reason why we're spending a lot of this money is to bolster economic activity because both Biden and Trump were under the pandemic, and so they had to inject a huge sum of money. In fact,
Trump called it a hoax.
That under Biden, he printed more money at that time than was ever printed in the last 200 years.
Wow, he printed more money.
Necessarily hold it against them 1,000%. Because of the economic crisis at that time. You have the pandemic.
Yeah, and he called it a hoax.
and also on top of it, we're in this debt-based system.
This is the other thing. Everyone else has to be 100% perfect. Let's see if we can get this in the.
You understand? And so unless we figure out a way to turn back the clock, you're always going to have this issue with every single
Just be off
presidency.
center.
You're going to have the issue. There's really no way around that.
So, do you think he's a good politician?
No.